Welcome back. So the start of spring is apparently the ideal time to buy, sell your home. And of course, we know the real estate economy in Western Washington continues to boom. So a lot of you are probably thinking about this, or you know people who are thinking about it. This morning, joining us, Matt Miner of Get Happy at Home to help navigate the local housing market. Good morning. We were talking in the break. I didn't know this. Why is spring kind of the time to do this, make a move when it comes to real estate?
Well, there's a few reasons. One, that's when the most buyers are actually looking. So a lot of buyers want to get their house sold, purchased prior to school starting up again. So the numbers bear it out that about twice as many homes sell in May and June as does in January. So the other reason is because the yard's in renewal, the leaves are fresh, it's not too hot or cold, so if you don't have air conditioning, it's not highlighted by the heat.
Right.
But it also, everything just shows better. The flowers are blooming, it's a pretty time to sell.
Okay, so if in my mind I'm thinking this might be the time, maybe I want to, what do I need to think about to make my home sellable, basically?
Well, this is very nuanced advice,
Sure.
Depending on the house. However, if I had to come up with a few things, I would say you always should paint the interior. If the exterior needs it, you should also paint that. You should also replace the carpet. Nobody really wants your old carpet. It just leaves a bad feeling. Yeah. And then that also creates this new car smell inside the house that really sets buyers at ease about it being ready to go and fresh and reliable. And then I would also say you should stage. Now, you can't always move out, right, of the house. So we can do spot staging, bring in art, etc. But if you can move out of the house, that's more ideal. And then have the whole house staged. And don't find the cheapest stager, find a good stager. This can add between 5 and 7% value to the home. And it helps people envision themselves there kind of as a blank slate, but a pretty blank slate.
Yeah, right, exactly. Helps me along with the imagination.
Correct.
Yeah, so let's talk about understanding the real estate market. How much as a seller do I really need to know the bigger market?
Well, I would say that really it's neighborhood by neighborhood, more or less. You do need to know when is the most optimal time to make sure your value will hit. If you have a house, that's really spring. You have to be in spring. If it's a condo and you have air conditioning and you're facing south, for example, well, then maybe summer's okay for you. In terms of pricing, is that where you're leading
Sure,
with it?
yeah.
It really is, again, a very nuanced question depending on the house. So I would just say find a good real estate agent, honestly.
That's kind of my last question for you. Should I look for a professional to help me, or can I save money by doing it myself? What's the trade-off?
Well, I would say it's possible you'd save money, but not probable. I can only think of one instance in the last several years where a client came to me and she was in a condo building with very little turn. And there happened to be a guy living in the building that really wanted a larger unit. So when she came to me with the offer he was proposing, considering the condition of her condo, I told her, you know, yes, take it. It's great. And then we were able to help her find her next house. But that's a long shot, honestly. And marketing really helps create an environment that helps more people see the house in its light. So I would argue that finding a good agent that understands marketing is really the key to getting the best value.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when it's so complicated, the market as exists right now.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Lots of good stuff for us to think about.